welcome to the opening lecture of the second IHF Live Online Symposium. My name is Courtney Gahan. I'm a part of the IHF media team and I am your moderator for today's session. For those of you who have joined us for Virtual Academy courses before, welcome back. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I will briefly inform you of our translation options. We have French, Spanish, and Arabic translation available for today's lecture, and you can use these only if you are joining us on Zoom. You can find them at the bottom of your screen by clicking the globe icon marked interpretation. If you are watching on Facebook right now, one of our team is going to share the link to this Zoom webinar in the comments so you can join us if you have an account. This second IHF Live Online Symposium is a follow-on to the highly successful first IHF Live Online Symposium held roughly at this time last year. That first IHF Live Online Symposium was the launch of the IHF Virtual Academy, which has since gone on to hold several very successful courses covering multiple disciplines and areas in handball. This symposium is focused on development trends of the game, consequences on training methods for coaches, and tactical training for referees. This symposium will include a total of 10 lectures presented by top handball experts from around the world. We do have a certificate available for participation in this symposium. You have to be present for all available live lectures here on Zoom in order to be eligible for this certificate. And please do make sure we have your name and the correct email address to which this certificate should be sent. You can share this today in the chat. Today's lecture is presented by Dr. Nabeel Taha al-Shihab and focuses on mental toughness and tactical discipline. This lecture is being recorded, so you will be able to access it later for on-demand viewing. And please do feel free to ask questions throughout, and we will address as many of these as we can at the end. So welcome, Nabeel. Hello, it's nice to see you again.
Courtney, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning or good evening, depending where you are. Thank you for your interest to join us in our second IHF Symposium. And for all the coaches who are interested in handball, the topic of mental toughness and tactical discipline will be focused on the mental side of the game and the tactical side of the game. So we'll be happy to receive any comments, questions, which we will have, hopefully we will have time in the end to answer them. So please feel free to write your comments or your questions. I'll just ask you to Courtney, if you can confirm that they can see the PowerPoint.
Yes, all fine.
Thank you. So we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to share with you the presentation. Okay. Mental toughness and tactical discipline. Two elements which represent our topic today, and this is our agenda for the lecture. And we start with the introduction, the definition of the word champions. It is an old Latin word, campanium, which is gladiator or fighter. The champions wins the greatest battle of all. The champions represent winning. Champion represent achievement. Champions in battle of life is the best within victories. And this is where we get the champion word from. Those are champions. These are celebration moments where teams celebrate their achievement. What we see is the celebration. Behind this celebration, it's a long path, a long way, a process of hard work, of discipline, and this is the word I will be repeating during this lecture: discipline. And winning is an attitude, winning is a process, winning is a habit. And in this lecture, hopefully, we can focus in the mind of a champion. The tactical discipline, it is an action, it is a plan, it is an agreement to help someone achieve a certain goal in particular situation. Discipline is the quality of being able to behave and to work in a controlled way, which involve obeying particular rules or standard. We will see, we will share some video with you where you will see that losing in critical moment lacks mental awareness, mental control, mental toughness, and the tactical discipline. If we acknowledge the tactical discipline, my question to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, coaches, friends, teachers, do you install the tactical discipline in your team training? Please think of it. I'll show you this video and I will talk about this video. This is the last World Championship, and this is Denmark against Egypt, the semi-final. It is a special game, and you will see the result and the action. "43 seconds left. Egypt ahead by 1. Look the empty space. Just look at the empty space. Everybody standing. Players are focusing in one area, and look where the ball is going. And obviously, you can know the result, and you will know the result. Not only this, it's a draw, 30 seconds, Egypt have the ball, now they can go attack and score. What will happen now? What will happen now? It is an easy mistake done in the semi-final in the last 22 seconds of the game, where of course the game will go to extra time, but referees goes back to the monitor to check what happened. Their decision has been, you know, supported by the video, and now you can see, I will show it to you now. One man and 10. Look at the result, 28-28, 22 seconds, and of course an extra man, so they lose the ball and 2 minutes. These mistakes, the 2 mistakes, could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. So the main ideas of having a winning mind, having a champion, is listed in 5 elements. You have to have the daily vision. And there is an acronym UBE plus GBD. I will explain it in details. Then the sand in the hand. If you grasp it tightly, what will happen in the sand of your hand? This is a metaphor where the way you think, the way you react, the way you act. Champions know the good, better, and great philosophy. Champions, top athlete, top performers, they know the good, the better, and the great philosophy. A champion sustains an obsession for his game. And we will see the 5 elements. The vision, the daily vision. You must have, you must create, you must look in the dream, the vision that inspires the hard work in daily basis. A champion must have a vision, and this vision motivate his mind, motivate him to work daily, continuously. I will read this. The final measure of a champion is not what you do, what you are doing in the practice in front of everybody, because you have people watching you, pushing you, encouraging you, and putting you on the back, patting you on the back. The real measure of a champion is what you do when you are alone. And we will see a good example of a great champion. Okay, this is one of the interesting game in women handball, and we will see how easy the mistakes that could be avoided and it could decide not only the game but also championships. Of course, coaches will explain. Coach, they take the right time. He make an timeout, explain, and let's hear. So we meet, we decide, and we execute. The beauty of our game, the free substitution, the timeout, the tactical game, the decision, and you saw it clearly in the team reacting to the timeout, taking their time, and shooting in the right moment. So what is UBE and GBD? You can enter a game and you are UBE. You can be ugly, means your performance, but you still can be effective. And the GBD means good bad days. That means in a bad day, this is the quality of the champion. It is champions know how to play ugly but still be effective and achieve their goal. You could be not in your day, but you can still be effective. Contribute to the moment, not to the whole game. Sub-elite performance, when they are not playing well, they crumple, they lose it. But the truly great champions of performance know when they are not performing perfectly, and when something doesn't go the way they want, they are able to recover quickly. We will see it in the end. We call it bounce back. Good, a measurement of a quality of a top performer is to recover quickly. Mental toughness is being able to respond to adversity quickly and jump back and play ugly but effective. If you are having a tough time during a day, even in your life, you respond by pulling yourself together and have a good bad day. Let's take it to a game. You are not playing well for 55 minutes. The 56th minute, you can make a good bad day. You are not playing good for 59 minutes. In the last minute, you can add value to the team. This is the mentality of a champion. This is the mentality. This is the philosophy of UBE and GBD. Easy mistakes, big consequences. Easy mistake, big consequences. Everybody in these teams, they know the rules. The players know the rules. He knows he should not shoot the ball after the whistle. So immediately in the last second, from one of the best players, one of my best players, I should say also, it's a red card, penalty, and a score. It happens in the end of the game, in the end of the regular time of the game. Mistakes, yes. Happens, yes. That's why we have to have that mentality, the awareness, the presence in those moments. This is another example. Guys, semi-final in Egypt against Denmark, 34-35, 11 minutes. 11 seconds left on the second overtime, the second 5 minutes overtime, because the time is 79 minutes, 49 seconds, 11 seconds, one goal ahead by Egypt. Look what will happen. Good defense, good defense. The game almost finished. Almost finished. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. This is a behavior. This is a behavior you can coach. This is a controlled situation where you can coach. So the referees, no hesitation. The rule of the last 30 seconds, if you delay the game, look at Denmark, they know it, they are raising the card, and exactly like what happened to Michael Hansen. 10, 11 seconds left of the game, and of course, they will go to the video to check it, and the decision, if you watch this game, it is very unfortunate for Egypt, unfortunate for the Danish team, of course, red card and 2 minutes, and of course, 7-meter shots. It is amazing, ladies and gentlemen, how easy mistakes are done by top performance, top athlete, top professionals. Look, the photo, look at this, the shot here. The player did not follow the 3-second, and very clever Danish team. He did not shoot the ball. He waited and waited and waited, of course, to find a good position, but also to make the referee's decision easier. And it is. And of course, 7-meter. And the game's is tight again. Sand in hand. This is a very important method. To be a champion, how hard do you have to work? How smart you have to work? If you picked a handful of sand and you squeeze so tight, if you squeeze so tight, the sand will drop from your hand. So it is something between the grasp in your hand. It is the level of intensity you want to have as we perform. Again, the level of intensity we want to have so we can perform our best. And we call it IPS, and I will explain what's IPS. We want to hold it strong enough that is in our hand, but not so tight. When you are so uptight, you will lose it. That we are not carrying enough, so we're not carrying enough, so it falls off our hand. If you open it, will hold. You tight it too much, it will hold. You need, coaches, we need to find with the player their best performance area. And you can see it here. For 20 seconds for the history to be written. Please watch it very carefully, and I will love your comments in the end. It is interesting and very costly. Remember holding the sand too tight to react of the right action with the rules. This is the final game. This is the championship, the first championship ever for the Holland team. The ideal performance state, we refer to it to IBS. It is the area where you can have your best performance and to have the suitable pressure, the suitable anxiety. I didn't say low anxiety, no, because you should have some pressure, but this pressure should be optimal, controllable, and underhand for you to achieve. If you have low anxiety, you don't care. High anxiety, you are choking, you are squeezing the sand too much in your hand. It is an area where there is a connection between the anxiety and the performance. Guys, this is a coachable area where you can, with the players, find their best motivators, preparation, routine for the players to be ready for the game, to be in his IPS. And we will see one of my top players in action, the goalkeeper Lundin from Denmark. You see him in his IPS, where he performed his best in the final. Of course, goalkeeper is a big part of the game. You see him in different situations, almost, I would not say impossible, but it's very, very difficult. He's able to save the goals and plays a big part of it. This is a preparation for the player to be physically ready, mentally ready, routine ready for the game. It's all elements comes together where the player is ready for the game. This is the ideal performance state. This is a state where the player work in it with consultation of his coach, and they know each other. An IPS, an ideal performance state, you should be physically ready, technically ready, tactically ready, and mentally prepared. The four elements: physical, technical, tactical, and mental. Be ready. This is a state where you can coach, train, find with having the proper routine, the proper training, and the preparation. The good, better, and great. This is how champions evaluate their performance. A top athlete, a champion, when they evaluate their performance, after a performance to reach the IPS, to reach the ideal performance state, they will ask this question: what went well? What did I do good? What could I have done better? And what do I need to change to be at my best? Again, when a performance in a game, when you build up this mentality, the player with you, with the coach, with the assistant, with the mental coach, will do this analogy. What went well? What did you good in the game? You have to know it, write it, and think about it. And what could be done better? Something that you need to develop, and something you need to change, and you will do it. If you do these three things, you will reach the ideal performance state with your players. And this is something you have to work together, but it have to come from the player himself. The fifth element of a champion mind is the sustained obsession. To be a champion, you have to have the obsession in your sport. And I chose for you Michael Phelps. Why Michael Phelps? Because he has won more gold medal than any player, any performer in the history of the game. The final measure of a champion, the vision of a champion, is someone who is bent over, drained in sweat, and at the point of exhaustion when no one else is watching. It's what you do alone. And Michael Phelps, 23 gold medals in the Olympics, 3 silver medals, 2 bronze. He accumulated 28 medals, 23 of them as gold. This is Michael Phelps when he was in junior high school. This is what he wrote in his room. This is he shared with his fan what he wants. This is his vision. He wants to be an Olympian. He wants to make it to the national team. He wrote the number of his swimming numbers and the all-star and how he can achieve it. Simple, but this is an obsession. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a 6-year routine for the majority of the days of Michael Phelps. He sleeps a lot, 4 meals a day. He takes a nap, 2 trainings, and recovery end of the day. This is a cycle. You cannot do it if you are not obsessed. You have the obsession of the game. The champion mind. It is the difference between a weak performance, pedestrian performance, and peak performance. How to take the normal performance, your athletes, and to make them in top performance. I will show you the way to take your athletes from pedestrian performance, average performance, to peak performance. When you adopt a winning mindset, will help you perform at the top of your game. Adopting a winning mindset. We need to think like champions. When you think like a champion, you will achieve your best in everything, in meetings, presentation, practice, and during a game. It is a cycle of life, like what you saw in Michael Phelps. Let's use the acronym BEST, B-E-S-T, BEST. Each word stands for a quality. Best is belief. Best or belief is belief. I will share a story with you. Thousands and thousands of years ago, a Japanese general, he's a general in the army, gathered his soldiers, his officers, and he says, destiny will reveal itself if we are going to win against we are outnumbered by soldiers, and we are outnumbered by equipment, by weapons. And I will toss the coin, and the coin will tell us our destiny. Because he said, no one is capable of changing the destiny. He tossed the coin because they were outnumbered and underarmed. He tossed the coins, and the coin came to heads. And he said, the destiny reveal itself that we will win. When his general came, his top officers came to him, and when they finished the battle, and they said, it was meant to be. No one can change destiny. He showed them the coins, and both sides of the coins look at the heads. Yes, champions, they believe, they participate in every competition, believing that success is inevitable. Success is a destiny. Champion doesn't doubt his or her ability. You are what you believe. And he made his soldiers, his officers, believe that destiny is with them. So the first B is believe. Believe is the tactical discipline. What is tactical discipline? Tactical discipline is an action or a plan following particular instructions or a standard, which is intended to help a player or a team achieve what they want in particular situation and to behave in a quality control pattern. I chose for you the Danish team. They play a certain move, and you will see the tactical discipline. And I was talking to CCM President Dietrich, and he said something very interesting before this lecture, that the Danish team represent one of the less teams in the world in the last World II Championship in technical mistakes because of the tactical discipline. They have 5 to 6 mistakes a game. This is way high in the international level, and that's why you will see them in action now. So coaches, can you follow the tactical means of the Danish team. Michael Hansen is in the right back. He moves in, and you will see it illustrated now. Two against one, man advantage, and it's open. You can see it again against Norway. Final World Championship. They do it again. The Norway knows, and still success. They do it again. Everybody knows their position. Everybody knows the timing. Everybody follow an instruction. Then it is a tactical discipline. Of course, you have to have the proper timing, the right movement, the right action, and the right player for the technique. And this is the variation of the same tactical means. He goes inside, cross without the ball, back to Michael Hansen, and it is in the other side because opening in the other side. Again, you know what will happen. He will come inside, cross without the ball, and it's a shooting opportunity, and it's a goal. To believe in yourself, to have the cones toss in the head all the time. You have to trust in your training. I cannot tell you enough, ladies and gentlemen. You have to prepare, you have to plan, you have to execute the best training. Trust in your training. The key to unshakable self-belief is to train like you are number two. You are number two here in the race. You want to be the champion through the training. Train like you just came short of winning, like losing by 10th of a second in a 100-meter race, or losing by a single point at the end of the game. You have to train with hunger. You have to train with hunger, guys. You have to train with obsession that you are number one, you want to be number two. You have to train continuously to avoid the previous mistakes. Remember good, better, how you change it. When it comes to competition, reflect when you are in competition, you have to go back to your training, the strength in your training. And when you compete like this gentleman. You have to compete like you are number one. Train like you are number two, and compete like you are a champion, with confidence and with control. So B for believe. E stand for enjoyment. It is impossible to be afraid and grateful in the same time. Champions bring attitude and gratitude to every competition, to enjoy every moment. You have to tell yourself, you have to train your players to have the attitude and gratitude in every training. They have to train, you have to teach them to tell themselves, I am so lucky to be here, competing in the high level. I have trained so hard for this. I cannot wait, finally, to show the world what I am capable of. This is one of the great champions in the world. Jesse Owens in Berlin Olympics, he won 4 gold medals against a full stadium against him. Full stadium against him. And he said, very interesting word. He said, find the good. It is all around you. Find it, showcase it, and you will start believing on it. Wow. With all the circumstances, try to find the good in it. This is a quality of a champion. Sometimes the pressure is so intense, and you saw it, the easy mistake with the pressure. You need something more than gratitude to enjoy the moment. Gratitude, yes, but you need something else. You have to have humor in the moment. A touch of humor at the right time. Guys, I have to say it many times. A touch of humor, a laugh at the right time. Keep things from becoming so intense. Remember the hand and the sand before it becomes too tense and you lose it. A stud of humor will increase the performance and increase the mood and will decrease the stress. Nobody can represent it. Eliminate tension in order to perform at your best. Performance have to go high, your mood goes high, the stress goes down, because if you eliminate the tension, you will perform better. Try your best to enjoy the moment by finding something you are grateful for and maintain your sense of humor. Guys, top games are great opportunities. Tough games are great opportunities. Teach your players not to shade, not to hide from intense game. Through your behavior. Shouting, screaming, discouraging the player, putting down the player will not help. You will create a failure. You will not create a champion. Nobody represents the humor and to have the right timing of the humor, like this gentleman you will see now. So A, enjoy the moment. The S stand for self-talk. So important. Positive self-talk. Positive self-talk. There is a beautiful book by Daniel J. Amen. It is Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. He have an acronym of A and T, represent automatic negative thoughts. It is the automatic random thoughts. It is random in nature, reference to a person. You have, when you come to intense game, fear of the unknown and the failure of the past, the fear of the unknown, what's going to happen, and the fear or the disappointment of the past will ruin the moment. The mindfulness technique reduces the automatic negative thoughts. So what is the mindfulness technique? What is the mindfulness technique? You can improve your attention by living in the moment, be in the present. You cannot change the past and you cannot foresee the future. But what you can do is live in the moment. So live in the moment, accept yourself. Mistakes are part of your development journey as an athlete. You saw few minutes ago, the best athlete makes silly mistakes. They have to live with it, they have to leave it and play the next game, and it is like having a good day. So accept yourself. Mistakes are part of development. A journey of an athlete is full of mistakes, but you have to live with it and improve yourself through it. Focus on your breathing. Practice your breathing technique. I will urge you to go to Google to write 4-7-8 breathing. It is magic. It is one of the best technique of breathing to reduce tension. 4-7-8 breathing. It is a technique, is widely used, and it is easy to do. It will take just minutes from you. After 21 days, you will be mastering this technique, and it will help you go to sleep, prepare for a game, lower your pressure, blood pressure, and be ready for the game. So mindfulness techniques, it is living in the moment, be in the present, live through your mistake, learn from your mistakes, and focus on the breathing. The ANT, a player brain should not be distracted by negative thoughts that robs them from the joy and happiness. If you want, I am sure everybody wants, to perform at your best, you must remove the negative thoughts that controls and occupies your mind. This is an important line. Never think about, I never do anything right. I always had a bad luck. I am a loser. No, these thoughts bring the things, these thoughts, the negative thoughts, the negative self-talk, the negative self-talk will bring things you don't want to do in your mind, which result is in your tension increasing. If you occupy your mind with the things you don't want to do, you will increase your tension. An athlete should focus on the things he wants to do, not the things he wants to avoid. A top athlete should focus in the things he wants to do, not the things he wants to avoid. Because if you occupy your mind with the negative thoughts, it will occupy your mind and it will be stress, and it will harm your performance. So concentrate on the things you want to do, not the things you want to avoid. The automatic negative thoughts, the voice of the automatic negative voice in our heads is never playing to win. It is just playing not to lose. There is big difference, guys. If you play not to lose and if you play to win. If you play to win, you will take chances. If you play to win, you will take initiatives. If you play to win, you will take an action. And if you play not to lose, you will not take initiatives. You will not take an action. You just will wait for your reaction. The negative voice in our head, the negative voice, concentrate in the future. It tells you all the ways you will fail. This might be, it could be helpful, but not during the performance. It could be helpful long before the performance and your general preparation, where you fix your mistakes when you are training to make a strategy for the game, but it's not helpful during your performance. During your performance, you must trust your preparation. During your performance, you must trust your preparation and all your attention be in the task in your hand. Live the present. A champions learn how to attract all this attention to the task in front of him by using positive self-talk. Positive self-talk, not negative self-talk. For example, one good play in a row. One good play in a row. I'm right here, right now. Whatever self-talk you choose to use during the performance, whatever positive self-talk you decide to choose during the performance, keep it simple, very few words, positive, very important, positive, focus in the present. If you will write a sentence with the player, remember the IPS, I work with my player. If I'm going to decide with him, he have to choose his word, not you choosing his word. He must choose simple, positive, and focus in the present. Like one good play in a row. Right now, right here. And this is the way it should be. Simple, positive, focused in the present. BEST. We have the acronym BEST. B-E-S-T. T stand for toughness. Mental toughness is not clenching your teeth, trying harder, straining your eyes to focus, or having someone shouting to be tough. No. Mental toughness is the ability to remain positive, proactive in the most adverse of circumstances. Again, mental toughness is the ability to remain positive, proactive in the most adverse of circumstances. This is mental toughness, guys, and bounce back. It is so important to bounce back after bad performance. increases your bounce back state in life and sport. Stay positive during adversity. And there is no time, in our history at least, we need to be positive, like our circumstances now in the whole world. We have to bring sport to our life. We have to bring positiveness in facing this epidemic, this situation, this condition. And it's really, after a bad performance, you have to stay positive and to bounce back. How you bounce back? Reminding yourself about your training and affirming your belief in yourself. I believe in yourself. I am the best I can be. God loves me. I am capable. I will do it. I train very well. Remember, you have to fill yourself with positiveness. Laughing up about the mistake and make a joke about it. Yes, when the mistake is finished, not in the, I told you, the right timing. When you go back and you see the mistakes you made, you look at it like a joke. You learn from it. You put it aside and move on. Using positive talk to direct your attention away from mistake and back to the task in hand. Using positive self-talk. Go back to yourself and say positive thing to yourself to direct your attention away from the mistake and back to the task in hand. It's like one good play in a row. One good play in a row. Just find simple, positive, present sentence and do it. I encourage you guys to use mental score card. It is from 1 to 5, and you have one card given to the player after a game, and you have the same card with you, and you fill from your side to the player, and you let the player fill his card. In the belief, from 1 to 5, 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. In all 4 categories, 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. In belief, did I prepare so well that I felt like I could not fail? This is the feeling I had, my belief. Remember that the Japanese general, when he said, we cannot cheat destiny, but he cheated destiny. The belief he stated in his soldiers made them win. And did you prepare so well that you felt like I could not fail? Did you have this feeling, or you had your doubt, or no, the negative? So from 1 to 5, enjoyment, attitude of gratitude, a sense of humor, thought throughout the performance. This is easy to detect. This is easy to see. This is, you see it in the player. And did he feel this gratitude that I am healthy, I am happy, I am here, I trained well, I'm ready for this. This is an opportunity for me. This will let me show the world who I am. Do I have this enjoyment? Self-talk, studies term of positive self-talk, what I just said it now. And toughness, how quickly that I reset to recover after a setback. How quickly did I reset to recover after a setback? Did I have the toughness in my mind that I am capable of bouncing back after a mistake. You must expect great things of yourself before you do them. You must expect great things of yourself before you do them. My conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, if you improve your mental scorecard, where we saw the 4 elements in every performance, you will be in your way to become a champion. Concentration and the mental toughness are the margin of victory. Thank you, and I'll be happy to receive any question if I can answer them.
Okay, thank you so much. We do have a few questions. So let's begin where, okay, somebody asked, after a team loses a great game, like a final or something, what are some tips for a coach to restore their mindset in the first trainings after a competition like this?
A coach should go to the next game having many answers for what happened. Usually they will go to the team of analyzers. He will watch a lot of videos, and he will see where they did good, where they did well, where they did not do well. And he must come with a plan for the next step. He should come confident regardless of what had happened. He knows the next step is to improve. Like what we mentioned, Courtney, that mistakes is the ladder of improvement. As a coach, you don't go guessing. You must have our beautiful game. You have all the statistics. Then you have the videos. If you have a program to analyze, you have to show the players where they did do well and where they have to improve. Of course, depending when is the next game and how much time you have to improve and what changes you can do and how you will do it.
Somebody asked along similar lines, but maybe you can comment on this as well. What if the coach themselves is aware they've made some mistakes? How should they handle that with the team?
I like this question. Please don't put the coaches like goddess. We make mistakes. We make a lot of mistakes, and we have to live with it. The dialogue you have, that's why you have assistants. That's why you have people who's around you. That's why you have game plan. And it depends on the circumstances, and depends on the culture in the team. Do you go and say your mistakes, or do you go and just fix your mistakes? If you don't change and fix your mistakes, you will do it again. And you have to, the first person to acknowledge the mistakes is the coach himself. And guys, you will make mistakes. Don't get me wrong, you will make mistakes. And this is part of improvement.
Okay. Somebody asked, how do you maintain mental toughness in the final seconds of a high pressure game?
Training. I'll tell you something now, few weeks, then you will have the Olympics. And you will see, hopefully we'll have a great Olympics, and you will see all these competition with the time, like the races or the weightlifting. All these athletes have broken their record in the training. They come to the competition and repeat it. The HIT analogy for training, the high intensity training, where you have high intensity, low volume, and you really concentrate in match situation where you fix. The players have to go to the base. The base is their good training, tough training, and the belief in themselves through their training. Make the training harder than the game, mimic the game, they will do good in the games.
Somebody asked, how can the coach work effectively with different behaviors and mentalities in their players?
When you bring a team, they will go in 4 stages. They will go forming, storming, norming, performing. This is management. Every team, you will have this internal battles between you and some players, between the players themselves. As a leader, you have to acknowledge that these changes, if you fix it, if you standardize your work, if you come prepared. I like the 5P analogy. Proper planning prevent poor performance. Proper planning prevent poor performance. Prepare well. Study your players, and the dialogue among the team should be rich. The dialogue in improving. You see in top teams, in the last second timeouts, mostly the coaches, some coaches, they just keep quiet and the players will talk. This is the amount of confidence he have in the team. So you have to have a priority of diluting, getting rid of all these problems that mistrust in the team. You have to build in the trust among the team and the respect for each other to develop.
Okay. Somebody asked, what about a player who is returning from injury? What are some special considerations for their mindset?
A player who comes from injury, he have 2 main things: hesitation and confidence. Hesitation that he doesn't trust his ability to perform in that level, and trust that he can be there in the right moment. That's why we have to go to stages before the player goes to the game. When you send the player to the game and he is 50-50, 70-30, they will not, you cannot expect them to perform well. When a player is injured, not recovering from the injury is the last point. The last point is to be ready mentally. To be ready mentally is to put him in a situation in the training where, let's say he's a player, he can be pushed, he can jump, he can fall down, go back in defense. He must try everything on the training, and this comes gradually. You don't take him from the clinic to the competition. No, you don't take him from the clinic to the competition. It's the path where you prepare him with the doctor, with the physiotherapist, with the trainer, with the assistant coach, then the coach, then the game itself.
Somebody has asked about young referees and their mentality, how to help them get back into a good mindset after they've had a difficult mistake in a game or something like this.
Good question. Don't shade away from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. And don't cover up for your mistakes. Don't compensate your mistake during the game. When you make a mistake, make it 1 mistake. Don't make it 2 mistakes. When you make a game, make sure to go back when you are relaxed and make sure that you don't repeat it. What happened, you cannot change it. In all life, what happens, you cannot change it. But for sure, you have control. It's what's going to happen, and to live in the present. You cannot live in the past and base your judgment on the past. No, you learn from the past. Live in the moment. If you make a mistake, so be it, but don't repeat it and learn from it. And when you go sit and relax, and you see yourself, see your position, why you didn't see this mistake, see your mental attitude during the game. Were you angry, were you hesitant? Build up yourself. Young referees, you have big potential from learning. And now with all the technology we have, wow, you can learn a lot and you can develop a lot. But Don't make one mistake, double mistake. Keep it one and learn from it.
Somebody asked how to build belief in a team that has never won anything.
Again, please.
How do you build belief in a team when they have never won a competition? Or
there is two kinds of goals. There is process goals and outcome goals. The outcome goal is result, and the process goals is the performance. If we go back in every fast break against us, if we win every ball, if we tackle the players, if we minimize our technical mistakes, good teams make less mistakes. Remember what I discussed with Dietrich about the Danish team, their technical mistakes. Build your teams in the performance goals where they are developed through these goals, and the result will come. Maybe you are a weak team in a tough competition. You still can gain from developing as a team. You develop as a team, then you can beat other teams.
Somebody asked, how important is the realistic element of a goal? Because this person says if you have an unreal or illogical goal, does this have a negative impact on the mentality in a team?
Tremendously. We have to have this analogy of smart goals. You have to be specific, realistic, attainable, achievable, time frame. If it's not realistic, if it's not achievable, there is difference between dreams and goals. Goals must be tangible, must be measured, you can measure it, and must be achievable and attainable. Everybody have dreams, but when you put it in goals, you have to have the smart goals analogy to see if it works with you. We can set our dreams, but goals is different. Goals based on specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time frame.
Okay, let's move on. We have a couple of questions related to age. Somebody asked about the personality of high-level players. How much is this related to the training and education in an early age?
We just finished handball at school, beautiful week, and we concentrating in building up the mind of a child, the game of children. The game of children depends on effort, depends on hard work, it depends on enjoyment, it depends on building up that obsession in the game. When you have all these elements in young age, of course, any sport, the earlier you play, the better. We have the early age, the physical literacy, where we start from 8 till 12, or 8 till 11 for girls. This is where you present the technical side of the game. We have to see the windows of trainabilities. As I mentioned in the beginning of my lecture, Courtney, in the beginning we saw a champions photos, but the process behind champions, years and years of hard work, years of science, years and years of long-term athlete development. We have to have faith in the system. We have to have faith in our work. We have to start as early as possible. This is, as an IHF, we are providing the opportunity to work with the school children. Our president wants to have this large mass of handball participation. Our goal is 50 million handball young athletes, because movement and enjoyment through handball, and link it to this question, the earlier we start, and the right dose of training, the right way of training, the right attitude of the coaches, and the right knowledge of the coaches, will enable the teams and the players to develop to high level. There is no shortcuts. There is no shortcuts.
Also related to younger players, people asked from which age should you really speak about tactical discipline? Because with very young players, this tactical discipline can kill their sense of creativity in the game.
I would say late youth, from above 14, 15, 16s, where we really talk about discipline. Remember that in the young age, we concentrate in the technical part, and even we don't advise to have a specialized position. This is where the players look, finding themselves, and you as a coach developing their ability, their level, the base of their knowledge on the game. So you want them to play most all position if possible, then to find themselves in position. Then we go to the structured game. The structured game is in the highest level or in the higher level. So late youth and junior team for sure.
Okay, we'll just do two more. Somebody asked, what about there are some players that perform really well during training and then during a game not as strong? What's this about?
Fear of competition. Fear of competition. And it could be you as a coach. You are the devil for the players in the way you're preparing them. If you have a player who have failed in top competitions and competition, give them certain tasks, not outcome goals. Give them a performance goals. Let them be comfortable in what they are doing. Let's say, I want you to go back in every defense. I want you to hold the player. I want you to be in this position. Put them in goals that they will succeed. Success breeds success. Failure make hesitation. So make the players feel they are confident. From where? From their training. And you remind them, you did well in the training. And as a coach, I'll go back to your training. How much pressure training you have put in the player? How much did you bring the game? We always say, good coaches bring the game to the training. They don't take the training to the game. Bring the game to the training, the situation, the tough situation. Tiredness, mental stress, distraction, all these, you bring it to the training and ask the player to perform. And the scorecard, check with the players, where did they fail? Where they see themselves doing well? Is it in the belief? Is it in their self-talk? Is it in their mental toughness? Is it in their enjoyment? Then you build up from the mental card and the player will develop hopefully.
Okay, the last one is just somebody asked, can you explain a little bit more about why train like you're number 2 and not number 1?
I love it. If you lost in the last 10th of a second of a race, you feel you are there. You need that extra push. If I lose last goal in the last minute, okay, this is disappointment, but I am there. I need only this extra push. I want to have the strive in myself to push myself a little bit more. I put 199%. Let me put the extra one. I will go to the 99, but I need this extra push. I don't want to feel that emptiness. There is nothing. I have to start in the beginning. No, I did something good, but I need, Courtney, I need that edge a little bit. 1/10 of a second, I'll just do a little bit more. I will hold this last thing. And this is where the way we want to train. But when it comes to competition, no, I am number 1. You have to toss the coin and both of them are head. You are a champion and you perform as a champion. But when you go to training, no, you have to have the hunger in your training.
Okay, I think we'll wrap up there. If you do you have any final conclusion you would like to share? Or otherwise, I'll say goodbye to everyone.
Mental toughness and tactical discipline is a process. It is a process where you build up with mutual trust. It is a process where you develop by monitoring, by coaching, and by developing, and by believing in your players and believing in yourself. Thank you so much, Courtney. Thank you to the translators. Thank you, Torsen. And thanks all the ladies and gentlemen who came to this first lecture of our symposium. And I'm sure it is going to be wonderful. I cannot wait to see my fellow lecturers lecturing. I'm sure it's going to be well and fine. Thank you and have good evening or good afternoon.
Thank you so much. We're getting a lot of positive comments and I can recognize many different nationalities in the names. So thank you very much, Nabeel, for getting us started today. Everybody, for what's coming up next, the lecture that was originally scheduled for tomorrow afternoon had to be rescheduled due to work commitments that have come up for the lecturer, Gabrielle Bourguignon. So this lecture is actually going to be made available as a pre-recorded version on the IHF Education Centre. And that is about professional goalkeeper preparation for the French Men's League First Division. So the next live lecture we have is coming up on Saturday, 19th of June, 2 p.m. Central European Summer Time, and that is with Jorge Duenas, the IHF Coaching and Commissions member and head coach of the Brazil women's national team. And that focuses on defense against line players. So we will see you then. Thank you, Nabeel. Thank you everyone for joining us and see you later.
Thank you.